What's up with it, y'all? Polo Sports Talking ENT here again with another one. Make sure you hit that like, sub, hit the comments as well, both right now and also when the video is over, and then also hit the notifications too, and so that you're able to get each and every one of my videos. Now, y'all all know that John Collins went ahead and decided to sign the deal with ATL, and that's understandable. I understand. Kudos, kudos to John Collins. But before all this had happened, people had to wonder if he was going to go ahead and stay with the Hawks. You know what I'm saying? Because things weren't going too shabby between him and Trae Young in the beginning. Okay, it was a lot of friction. He was even ready to leave, and he wasn't even sure if he was going to go ahead and stay. Look, this isn't anything new. Okay, this isn't anything new. Uh, players have gotten into it before. Uh, and I'm pretty sure he's happy because he did sign a 5 year, 125 mil. Okay, and thing about it, sometimes it's not all about the money. It's about the convenience, and it's also about where you at, because when you're playing good, sometimes you could care less about the money and how much you're getting paid and everything. For instance, I keep bringing up the fact about like Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan took less money to come and play with San Antonio in the latter part of his years. Okay, or the late stages of his career. He took a pay cut because he enjoyed the San Antonio culture. He enjoyed his brothers who he had been to war with time and time again, and it was a home for him. They pretty much know Timmy there. Now, this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand about John Collins, which it needs to be noted. Okay, now I'm big on 50, 40, 90 guys. Okay, now although he wasn't quite, he was close in terms of 50, 40, 90 when it came to the field goal percentage, because he was at 55.6, and then he was at 39.9% from 3 point range, which is real damn good, especially considering how athletic he was. And he shot 83.3% from the foul line. So it's almost 50, 40, 90. But nevertheless, those are still pretty good percentages, considering on the fact that he shot 17. He averaged 17.6 points per game, along with 7.4 rebounds and a block. Now, like I said, he was really highly athletic. I think the Hawks, being that they re-signed, uh, or they re-signed Collins, this is going to give them some leverage, because people are sleeping on the Hawks as if they were just some Cinderella, but people didn't expect them to play that well. I had always been looking at the Hawks, though, even when they had Rondo earlier in the season. I had looked at them, and I didn't take them lightly at all. Now, one could argue that, because they were like, the Hawks, they're not going anywhere, especially when they had Lloyd Pierce or whatnot. But then, as soon as Nate McMillan had taken over, They just went ahead and they jailed. And I think him bringing in that old school like mentality, it stuck with them. It rubbed off on Collins, rubbed off on Trae Young, rubbed off on Bogdanovich, rubbed off on Horter, rubbed off on Clint Capella. So sometimes it's about the convenience. Everybody gets caught up in this thing about money, 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 which money is good to have. Look, if you had a job, you want to be comfortable where you're working at too. You want to be you want it to be you want to be in a good environment too. I mean you could be in a really messed up situation and be getting paid lots of money, but if you're not happy there, it defeats the purpose because all you're doing is you making the money, but you stressed out. But no, players want to play good. It's just like okay, when it comes to Carmelo and the deal, him signing over there with LA, and Westbrook him signing over there with LA. I mean, it has a lot to do with championship, but at the same time, it's the convenience. A lot of people like to play in LA because they like to play in places like LA and Miami because not only everybody gets it twisted, not only for the nightlife though, but also they they have a requirement in terms of keeping your body in shape. Like when you go out to LA, everybody's working on their body. They don't care what age they are. When you go to Miami, everybody's working on their body because image is extremely important and performance is just as important. Um, Collins, man, he came off a little bit to me. His attitude came off a little bit prickish, just a little bit, man. He came kind of like kind of cocky a little bit, but I think maybe I judged him just a little bit too wrong. I think he was just real confident in himself, which you have to be. I understand that, and he feels like he's just as good as Trae Young. In some aspects, he is. As far as athletic wise, he is. As far as running the floor, he is because he could catch a lob from damn near anywhere on the floor. Made no mistake about it. John Collins is highly athletic, and he could shoot the ball. That's what a lot of people fail to realize. That man can shoot the ball too as well, and he's accurate from free throw. That's part of the reason why they won. A combination of him, Horter, uh, Bogdanovich, Trae Young. Can't forget about Trae Young, of course. Those guys right there, they have they have all the pieces necessary in order to grow and and be really competitive because everybody's beefing up in the East right now. Everybody's talking about New York. We already know the situation that happened with them signing Evan Fournier, and then on top of that, they got Kemba Walker, which I don't really agree with. I'm gonna get on that later. And then on top of that, they got who else did they get? New York. Well, they re-signed D Rose and everything, and then but Chicago is. I think everybody was asking me who won in free agency, and I got to give a shout out. I give a shout out to FYF Lamont, man. He posted a poll, a question, and it said who won in free agency. Everybody chose the damn Lakers. It wasn't the Lakers. It wasn't the Lakers. In my opinion, it was the Bulls. The Bulls have pieces around it because they already have Vucevic, right? They got Vucevic last year. Then you got Lonzo Ball, which a lot of people are sleeping on Lonzo Ball. I'm guilty of it myself, but I think Lonzo's coming with something to prove. He's with some young guys, when Lonzo's with some young guys, he likes to run. Case in point, when he was with Kyle Kuzma before before LeBron had came and everything, he really liked to run and showcase or whatever with the young breed of talent. Then on top of that, you get a guy like Alex Caruso who can pretty much do everything on the floor, shoot, uh, athletic wise, and he hustles. He hustles. That's another big key. I mean, they have a lot of pieces necessary to actually go pretty far in the East. You know, now to say where, we don't know. I would look at Chicago probably maybe a first or second round team right now, and then as they get older, because they got to learn through defeat. Uh, Zach Levine, he has no excuses now. They've surrounded him with some guys that have a little bit of experience on the. What's his name? Alex Caruso got championship experience, so there's no excuses now. There's no excuses at all right now. So I'm anxious to see what's going to happen with the shot. But John Collins going ahead and re-signing, man. That I think that was a good thing that he did, man. Because had he left, I think what he was thinking like long term had he left, you don't want to leave in a bad situation. Like you don't want to leave in I'm sorry, but that in a good situation, and then next thing you know, you end up going to a bad because the grass is not greener on the other side all the time. You know what I'm saying? Where you think all money ain't good money. All money is not good money. You might be like, you know what? Forget it, man. I'm finna go to this place. The next thing you know, you go over there, you playing worse than what you did. Because I'm trying to think of a player who actually did that. Terry Rozier was one of those guys. Terry Rozier. Yeah, Terry Rozier, because he was in Boston and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to Charlotte, and the next thing you know, you never heard from him again. You never heard from him again. And then trying to think of who else, man. Some guys that were like disgruntled and frustrated and said, you know what, I'm finna leave. I can't think of some guys right off the top of my head. But then you just never heard from them guys again once they left. But the only one that comes to my mind is Terry Rozier. You know, John Collins. I've always liked his game. I just I didn't really particularly too much care for his attitude, but I understand where he was coming from just a little bit because Trae Young was making a lot of young mistakes, which were understandable. He was gonna make those mistakes all the time. That was understandable. He was destined to make those mistakes. And that's the thing. People act like these players that come in, they want microwave success. It just don't work like that. You have to understand that, man. It's a learning process when you come into the NBA. It's a learning process. All these guys ain't just gonna get it. Everybody's not gonna be a Magic Johnson just automatically placed in a great situation and win a championship off of your first year. It don't happen like that. It's very rare that that happens. Extremely rare. Especially as a main player. You know, but John Collins, coming in, uh, being able to be a contributor and one of the main guys at that, That's huge for ATL. And ATL is booming again. The Hawks, they're trying to boom again. And just like when it comes to NFL and football, they trying to get back. They trying to be resilient and come back to what they once were. You know, John Collins, man. At first, I was just like, man, what are you doing? What's wrong with your attitude, man? You need to set the example. You need to be the one to set the example. Don't sit there and complain about your teammates or anything like that, man. Get in there and work with them. If you have bad chemistry with a main player at that, that's when y'all need to get in there and work. Y'all have to get off the floor and try to figure out things sometimes. Maybe go shoot pool or something like that. Go bowling or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like if shoot, hey, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. If y'all gotta box and do something physical to where y'all taking out y'all physical y'all physical combative type of animosity that y'all might have towards one another, and then y'all be like, okay, we got that out. Let's go ahead and move forward. Sometimes it takes that, even or if it's like one on one or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Playing basketball, over and over again until y'all just like, okay, look, all right, I respect your game or something like that. Sometimes it has to come to that, but until y'all don't do that, it's always gonna be some friction on the floor. Y'all not gonna be on the same page. Because everybody's not gonna like what anybody does on the floor, or everything that every another person does on the floor. They might not like the fact that, okay, he's always shooting the ball at a certain time when the clock is going down, or he might not like it the fact that he's always throwing outlet passes and turns the ball over sometimes when it could be an easy outlet and for a potential score, a potential dunk, or pretty much a layup clinic for like 3 or 4 possessions. He might not like the fact that Trae Young dances with the rock at the top of the key sometimes and does a little bit too much dribbling or something like that. You never know what it is. But either way, they got to get in there and they have to figure it out. They proved that they could be successful. I mean, they were successful against us. Now did Nate McMillan have a lot to do with that? Yeah. Did Horter have a lot to do with that? Yeah. Did did Bogdanovich have a lot to do with that? Yeah, of course. Clint Capella, leading rebounder in the NBA at 14 rebounds a game. Did he have a lot to do with that? Hell yeah. So they had a squad. They had a squad, and they were a force to be reckoned with. I'm just looking to see. I'm looking to see what's going to take place in terms of how they going to compete coming in next year. Being that, are they going to build off of that, or are they going to take a step back? That's what I don't want to happen. I don't want them to take a step back. I don't want them to take no step back. I don't want them to be like, okay, come in there all comfortable, because now it's getting ready for the real. It's about to be a real season next year, God willing. It's about to be a real season. 82 games straight, and they talking about implementing the play-in again. So it's no excuses, man. You got a full training camp to get ready. This year I don't want to hear no excuses from nobody at all. Y'all have time to heal. Y'all have time to relax. Now y'all have time to work out too. Y'all have time to work out, and y'all have time to get y'all stuff together before the playoffs. I mean, even though they still gonna do the play-in thing, but me personally, I'm opposed to that. I don't think that there should be no play-in. If you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. That's just what it should be. But y'all tell me what you think. Like this video, share it, comment, sub to the channel if you're not already a member of the channel. Until then, it's Polo Sports Talking ENT. I'ma holler at y'all.